Okay, it looks like it's working pretty good, and the start time is 0540. It looks like. I'm going to try to keep these around an hour long, if all goes well. Alright, let's go ahead and get this play start. Now, we're going to do a new game. I've already eliminated quite a few games. Let's see, all of these have, yeah, quite a bit done. Okay, new game. Standard 2, huh? No, that's not much of a name. Let's go with DIN Standard. Standard 1, I guess. We'll do Prime, of course. Now, we could do Relaxed, since there's nothing, really to fight against in this game. Nothing vicious or aggressive. But dying has no consequences with Relax. Oxygen, health, and water decrease slowly. Standard game is what most people play. You will drop some items in a crate where you died, and then you'll reappear in the last location that your avatar had oxygen, shelter, some called survival pods, and the game calls them living compartments. And then that's where you respawn and start over. Well, no, I shouldn't say start over, where you pick up where you left off. Everybody gets destroyed, and when you die, oxygen, health, and water decrease a bit faster. So that just makes the game harder and harder. Okay, hardcore. Your save file is completely deleted when you die. Oxygen, health, and water decrease faster. So when you respawn, you're at a bit of a handicap. I've done one with creative, but you can, don't have to collect anything. And when you do collect something and it gets used, and then you decide to deconstruct it, you don't get nothing back. So it kind of discourages you from bothering to collect anything to build something. Custom, you probably don't want to mess with that until you've played the game quite a bit and there's something that you want to change. So we'll just leave standard check marked, and that way that we'll get a standard game, and then everything will be fairly predictable. And I could kind of try to reveal a lot of the basics of the game so that you could do your terraforming a little faster. It'll still take more than a few episodes at 1 hour each. Alright, so now once we've hit the create game, we have to go find it. And this is where we're starting. As you can see here, we have no terraforming index, or you might call it points. We don't have anything. Now, if you want to get rid of the game, you figure you've played it enough and you don't want to, continue the game, you just hit the old trash can. Alright, so we'll go ahead and as you see, the planet starts out extremely devoid of
correct your trajectory.
anything.
Imminent impact. Imminent impact.
Alright, so we crash landed. And I think of this as an escape pod, but actually it's the basic pod you use for the game. Alright, so let's go over here and see what they want us to look at. Welcome to your assigned planet. You must advance the terraforming process or index score of this world. You'll need to generate oxygen, heat, and pressure. The first 125,000 terraforming index and create a blue atmosphere. That's your first objective. Now you'll notice in the upper left hand corner, they're telling you some things to do. Now they're not going to tell you everything to do, they're just going to make recommendations. So you come over here and you say, okay, what's the first thing I'm supposed to do? Well, you probably want to do the backpack first. And as you can see, you've got 2 iron that you have to pick up. And then come back to this crafting machine and craft it. Alright. And of course you see up there in the top left hand corner, it says craft the T1 backpack. So the first thing, objective and difficulty, is figuring out what's iron and what something else is. There's cobalt, there's ice, more ice, magnesium. Now it's going to take a while to get used to what everything looks like, but we've got our 2 iron, and it's a left click is how you collect stuff. Your little device looks kind of a little bit like a gun. Alright, so we got a T1 backpack. Now you can see that the iron is highlighted, and we left click. Just about everything in this game is a left click. Now you need to use the tab key, T-A-B, tab. Press it quickly and you'll see it's over here, but you want to put it over here. This is your gear slot, and this is your inventory slot. So we left click and it goes over there. Now notice what it does, it adds more slots. Now where they say oxygen tank. Now for your oxygen tank you need 2 cobalt, you need iron and a magnesium. And you gotta do this before you run out of energy. Now I'm using the W key like most games do. There's some magnesium. Of the survival genre, I think is how you say it. It's a series of games that all have the same basic theme. Now we can use the tab key to see what we've got in here so far. Now we can't yet press the a key of any kind that will give us the recipe. So I'm going to hold down the shift key while I'm holding down the W key, and I'm going to run back to the shelter and try to get in here before I run out of oxygen. Right now oxygen is our biggest obstacle. And then the next one will of course be your water supply, which you'll collect ice for, and you'll create drinkable water bottle like you see right here. And then after that comes the food. Now you got space food to start with. It only restores 40 points of health. So if you see this get down to halfway, it's time to eat. Alright, so let's go back up here, see what else did we need. We need iron, and then we'll be good to go. And no, that's silicon, so that's not going to work. There's iron right there. So now we run back inside using the standard controls for moving our avatar. Now we need to equip it, so we'll have to use the tab key again and left click. Now don't left click here because that will drop the oxygen bottle on the ground, or in this case inside the escape pod. There you go. So we've got that objective completed. Now it says craft a microchip for construction, which is right there, microchip for construction. So you need 2 silicon, magnesium, twice also. So now we just saw some, there you go. That's of course iron, so that's not going to work. We don't want to get too far away, so we'll just stay as close as we can. And once we start noticing our oxygen is bleeding off into the danger zone, and it's doing so a little bit slower than it was before. Alright, now I need another silicon, and that looks like silicon right there. But it's not, it's magnesium. How about this one? There we go. And like I said, the first real objective is trying to learn what things look like. Okay, I'm going back kind of leisurely since I've got more oxygen to work with. And now we'll do our microchip. Everything is nice and bright, not ghosty looking. So we'll left click. And then as before, push the tab key and we've got to transfer it over. Then if we want to organize it, the game will organize it for you. Just click right here. See there, everything was pretty well except for these two. It decided that, I guess you'd call it alphabetical backpack. That starts with a B. Construction starts with a C, and oxygen starts with an O. That's how the game decided to organize things. Okay, now we need to craft a living compartment. Now, you're not going to find it in here, as you can see. It's just not there. So you want to press the Q, like in quick, and see what it shows you. These are the first things that you can craft. And when you run your cursor over it, it tells you what you need to collect. Okay, so there's our living compartment. Now some people call these survival pods, living pods, rescue pods, just all kinds of names for it, but the game prefers living compartment. It's a basic habitat providing oxygen, just like this capsule is right now. Alright, did you see what you need? You need iron. And if you forget, just use the Q key. Another iron and a titanium. Now I haven't showed you titanium, but that's what this bumpy looking stuff is. Now I need another iron. That looks like iron right there, doesn't it? Yeah, it is. Now it's pretty common for players to put their shelter right here, but we can move it later. So, you know, that's not going to be a problem. So hit the old Q key, and when it turns green, you're in business. And it will float. You can put this way up here in the air if you want to. Or you can put it where it's touching the ground, slightly above the ground. I like using the slightly above. Alright, so we need to go back and get ourselves reoxygenated. So we'll grab some water since our getting kind of low here. Now what do we got? It living compartment door. Alright, so Q key again, and there's your living compartment door. Iron, titanium, and silicon. Iron. Well, there's a titanium. There's some iron, and that looks like silicon right there. And it is. Now we'll run over. Well, we'll walk over. We're not really running. And we'll push the Q key. Select the living compartment door. Get close enough until it turns green. Left click again. All kinds of things this game are left click. And notice what it did. It restored our oxygen. Now it wants us to craft a T1 drill. So we press Q. And we look for the drill. And it's right there. Titanium and iron. Oh, we just got a warning. Did you hear that? We're getting a little bit low on our water supply. So you're probably thinking, okay, interesting, but What do I do about it? Well, you hit your inventory key, which is the tab. I have to click it twice to get to that. And you notice we picked up a water bottle already, so that we can left click on it, but nothing happens. So you have to right click, like it says, to consume the water. And that's with the mouse, right click. And we've consumed. Now we're 100%. Alright, so you're probably thinking, okay, the drill is the next thing, T1. Alright, and we saw that for a drill, we need titanium and iron. Now, this is what they call the grind. The first part of the game has got a lot of grind in it. Where you gotta run around, look for stuff. Now I need iron. There's iron. And I need titanium. That bumpy stuff. I don't. Oh, here we go. It's kind of got a gray, bumpy look to it, like a collection of things. Now I'm going to go ahead and play this game as if I've never played it before, and do what most new players do. Just follow the instructions. Alright, now Q key, and we need the drill. There we go. Now notice that it doesn't do anything. It kind of looks like it's working, but there's no sound, there's no motion. But we do need oxygen, so let's go back in here and grab some oxygen. Of course, we can do the same thing over here. Oh, look at there, there's titanium right there. Alright, so let's use the Q key and, well, first of all, it says craft a wind turbine in the upper left hand corner. So we want to use the Q key, and what do we need? We just need 1 iron. Okay. Hey, I think we found us some iron. Alright, so it would make sense to kind of keep everything close, so we don't get too far away from, you know, our oxygen supply. Oh, it's spinning. Nice. And this is spinning, so it's also obviously creating some sort of a drilling process. We've got gas coming out there. Well, this time let's go over here in this side, get our oxygen. Okay, craft a screen terraformation. Okay, so we've got the Q key again. And information screens. So you got different categories. You got base building, machines, biomass, information screens. And this one is the terraformation screen. Iron, cobalt, and silicon. Well, there's cobalt. Well, let's see. I need silicon. Ah, here we go. And now I need some iron. But in the meantime, we gotta kind of keep an eye on our progress here. Make sure we don't run out of oxygen. Ah, there we go. And that will be our terraforming screen. Okay, so we push the Q key again and click on it. Oh, can't put it outside. Okay. Can we put it in here? Nope, can't put it in there. So that only leaves us one other choice, doesn't it? Yeah. Now right now it looks like it won't go in here either. But the problem is the orientation. If we get close enough, we can say, well, I can put it on this back wall here. So we'll do that. We'll just put it on the back wall. Now you can see it's got kind of like a ledge there. The walls protrude outward at the bottom. And if I bring it down until that shelf right there disappears, It looks like it fits real well. So it's telling us right now we're not generating any oxygen, no heat, but you are drilling some pressure. It's kind of a slow process. See there? It does change and it does affect our terraforming index, which is also you might call your terraforming score. Alright, what do we need to do? We need to do another screen. They want us to do blueprints this time. And blueprint screen is this one right here. We need iron and silicon. So we'll left click on the X. The door opens automatically. And we'll kind of head off in this direction here. I think I see some iron right there. Yep, we're in good shape. Now we need silicon. Silicon looks a little different. There we go. Got a green box right there. Well, they call these crates. Open the storage crate. Oh, look at that. It's got a lot of nice stuff in there. In fact, it's even got oxygen. I think the things that would do us the most good right now would be these right across the top here. Food, yeah, I'm gonna have to have some food soon. I'm gonna need some water soon. Oh, oxygen too. Okay, let's take that. And I don't know what to do as a new player with this other stuff, so we'll just left click on that. And we'll head back and say, ooh, I just got a warning, my oxygen's kind of low. Now, I'm gonna stop off in here right now. Of course, we could go over there. But if we get too far away, then we know we might need to use that oxygen. Alright, now you notice that they've got these little pedestals down here. That's telling you those are the small screens. These go on the walls. They don't have any kind of little pedestal or anything. These go on either the floor or a desk if you have one. Right now we don't, so we'll just click right here. And it's the same thing. If you can get things oriented and not try to push it back too far, boom, you got it covered. Now we gotta do a T1 heater. Okay, let's press the old Q key. There's the T1 heater. Since we collected a bunch of stuff, we've got everything we need but the red stuff that glows in the dark. Iridium? No, iridium. How do you say that word? Okay. Wait a minute. We just saw some of that in that crate. Where's that blue crate again? Ah, there it is over there. So let's get over to that blue crate. And there it is right there. So we'll grab that, and since iron is such a big deal in this game, let's grab the iron. Oh, wait a minute. We're starting to get kind of hungry and thirsty. Well, we've got food and we've got water, so we should be good to go. Alright, let's get back over to our little settlement here. Remember, I'm playing this as if I've never played before. So I'm trying to do what is normal to a first-time player. There's the heater. And can't put it out here. Well, that only leaves me one other option, doesn't it? I'll have to put it inside here until it turns all green. I can't go over anymore. No, that's it. That's as tight as I get. Uh-oh. You heard that noise? And my screen turned off. Well, that makes it kind of obvious. I don't have enough energy. Now, does it say anything at the top left? Nope, it doesn't tell you anything. So you have to be intuitive enough to know that what you need is more power. And this is your only option right now. And we just happen to have some iron, so It won't go inside either. It's got to go outside. Well, we've already got one right here, so... Now notice how these are kind of knocking into each other. So they should be destroying each other, but they don't. And the game doesn't care if you notice that or not. Alright, so now what do we gotta do? A veggie tube. Alright, a veggie tube. What's a veggie tube? Ah, there it is, right there. And the only thing we don't have, because it looks kind of ghosty, is the ice. So we'll go over here and we'll pick us up some ice. Oh, it says our level is getting too low. We're getting thirsty. Well, we do have a water bottle, so we'll right click on that. And that takes care of business. Alright, let's get in here and let's see about a veggie tube. Gotta go back to Q, and there's our first veggie tube. Ice looks nice and bright. Oh, can't put it outside. So obviously that only leaves us with one choice. Put it on the inside. I can't get it any closer to the wall or to the heater, so there we go. Oh, wouldn't you know it. It brought down our power again. Well, we kind of know what to do with that, don't we? We need some more power generation. And we do have iron already on hand because we picked all that stuff off out of that blue crate. And again, it's spinning the wrong direction, suggesting that it would destroy both of those. Yeah, it would, in a normal game, it would destroy the other and itself. Alright, what do we gotta do now? It says screen progress screen. Alright, let's get back over here. Since we know that screens have to go inside, let's go ahead and do the Q key. What do we got here? Ooh, that's energy. Doesn't say anything about progress. The game is kind of hiding information from us. It's not gonna spoon feed you. Let me just tell you, that's how this game is. It doesn't spoon feed you, telling you what to do. You have to kind of think intuitively and say, well, that must be something that will be available later. And it should unlock right in this area with the other information screens. So we got to do something while we're waiting. Well, it turns out that this game, even though there's nothing to worry about as far as wild animals that might attack, or other aliens or humans that might attack, we're kind of on this planet all by ourselves. And our only real problem is the environment itself. If we don't keep up with our health, which is also your food line on the top there, lower left, our thirst, and our oxygen, then the only thing that'll kill us is the environment, because we got too hungry and died, too thirsty and died, or just ran out of oxygen and died by being basically strangled to death from a lack of oxygen. Alright, so let's get out of here. Again, we'll left click on the X here. So now what are we going to do? Well, as you can see, we're not generating any oxygen. We are generating a little bit of heat, but it's kind of gotten behind on the pressures. Pressure's doing better progress at 110 than the heat or the oxygen. So what can we do about that? Well, we don't have the screen for progress unlocked yet. And our next instruction is to reach a blue sky. But that's going to take the TI at the bottom right here. We've only got 181 and we need 175,000. So we've got a big job ahead of us, don't we? Indeed we do. We've got to do a lot of construction. Now the only thing we can construct is these for power, this for pressure, and what you see inside here. Now this has got a veggie tube, so that's probably telling us something about we need to grow something. So if we click on it, it's got a little symbol, a short stem and 2 leaves. Now I don't have anything over here that, suggests it'll fit inside. So you kind of have to think intuitively and go look in the box. Oh, there's something right there. It's got a short stem and 2 leaves symbol at the bottom of the pop-up window. So we'll grab that and we'll go put it in the veggie tube. So we'll left click, transfer it over, and it likes it. It took it. Now if we look, we say, oh, look at there. We're actually providing oxygen. It's going to cost us 0.35 kilowatts of energy. The growth speed is kind of slow, 0.5, and the growth so far is 31%. Oh, warning, food levels critical. Okay, let's look at the tab here and right click right there on the space food. Like it says, right click. If you want to consume something, it's got to be a right click. Oh, it didn't go up very far, did it? Maybe we should go get us another one. And there was some in here. Yep, there's no one, so we'll left click and then we'll right click. Oh, that looks much better, much better. Oh, looks like thirst is going to be the next one, so let's left click, transfer it over to our inventory, and let's organize things a little bit. So alphabetically, you got cobalt, oxygen, silicon, titanium, and water. Usually this is the first letter of the primary noun of the object. So we've got 4 food packs left, and then we'll be starving to death. But we just found a blue box not too far away. Where is that box? Ah, there it is. Let's see what else we can get out of this box. 2 food, some uranium, iron, and silicon. So let's just transfer the whole thing over. We've got enough space. Now what do we do with the blue box? Well, take a look at your inventory again by your tab key, organize everything, and notice we've only got 1 iron in here. And now let's rotate the wheel, but we don't have a deconstruction tool. So there's nothing else we can do with that box right now. Now if we had the right chip, I'm going to go ahead and grab that iron while I'm here. We can deconstruct that box and it'll give us something for doing that. Alright, so let's go here and right there, deconstruct. Now I gotta have silicon and magnesium. I don't seem to have any magnesium. If I use the tab key, I can see I've got 2 spaces right here. So let's go collect some magnesium. And that looks like magnesium right there. And it is. Okay, so let's go back to the pod, the escape pod that crashed. And now let's see about deconstructing objects. Equip this chip to be able to deconstruct entities with your multi-tool. Needed to salvage wrecks. Well, it's basically deconstruct anything. If you can construct it, or you can find it, like we did that blue box, or actually we probably should call it a blue crate, since that's the terminology the game uses, then we can take it apart. And again, tab key. Remember, you have to transfer everything over. There we go. Now we'll organize it. So now we got a microchip that allows us to deconstruct stuff. Let's go find that blue box again. See, wasn't it right over here somewhere? Get on top of this rock. Ah, there it is. I see it now. You kind of have to try to remember where you saw something, and you may not be able to do anything with it right away, so it'll exercise your memory for sure. Alright, open storage crate. That's a left click. Nothing's in there. So now let's rotate our mouse wheel to get to another function. And let's see. That's the same as before. Oh, deconstruct. You see the gun looking thing you've got there? It's got a different look now, and it turned the box red. So now let's right click and see what happens. Oh, it gave us some iron. You saw that pop-up window? So now we've got more iron to work with. Interesting. Alright, we're running out of oxygen, so rather than try to beat it back, let's go over here and let's right click like it says to consume it. Boom, now we are looking good. How about water? We're getting kind of thirsty, so let's right click on it too. Oh man, we're looking good now. Alright, now let's see. What should we collect? We don't still have, oh no, we still don't have. You know what, let's go ahead and put this in. I need some magnesium. Otherwise I'm good to go. Let's try to stay close while we're looking for the magnesium, because we just used up our oxygen. Oh, here we go, right here, magnesium. And now we can go back to our little recently constructed shelter, living compartment, and let's go ahead and install. It's got a little stem on it, so we know it's going to be a small screen. And it looks like we can get it right next to the other one. Have to move it over just a wee bit. There we go. Now let's click on it, and it tells us we have almost no power left. 0.75 kilowatts. We've already got 3 wind turbines up. Let's see, we've got this T1 heater, and it's 1 kilowatt. So yeah, we couldn't put another heater in. We could put another drill in, 0.5. We still got 7.5. I don't know why we'd put another screen up. Ooh, maybe another VeggieTube, but I don't have anything to put in the VeggieTube. About the only thing I can really afford to do right now is another T1 drill. So Q key, and we have what we need, titanium and iron. And we'll just put it right there. Alright, so now if we look at our screen, we can see that pressure 208, heat is pretty close to the same, but it's not keeping up. The biggest problem we got is a lack of oxygen. We could use another heater. Only catch is we don't have what we need, do we? We would have to knock some more of that iridium. We'd also need some silicon. Alright, now let's see, where are we gonna find iridium? I know there's silicon down here somewhere, but I haven't seen any of that iridium except in that box. And right now I'm not seeing another box anywhere. Yeah. Oh, there's silicon right there. So if you don't like games that require you to go around and collect stuff, then you're probably not going to like this game too much, especially playing it on a standard mode. Because you have to go around and find every little thing you need. And iron can be a real nuisance. Right now we're not having any trouble, but later on we might. Uh-oh, we're running out of oxygen. So I better push down the shift key in addition to the W key and run back into our shelter before we die. There we go, from a lack of oxygen. Alright, well, that is your basic game right there. Let's see, we still got some time left. We can play for another, oh, what would it be? Looks like about 15-20 minutes. Now, has that progress screen showed up? Nope, still not there. So it would make sense to go ahead and just keep installing whatever we need of these objects right here, and that is the basic game. But it would be nice to have a better crafting station, so let's get that installed. Now I recommend, you see that control arrow, it's got a directional arrow on the floor. You can rotate that with the R like in Roger Rabbit, or the T like in Tom Key. And I would recommend that you don't rotate it this way, but you rotate it back this way. Now the reason why I recommend that is, I'll just install it and show you. Oh, it brought down my power. If I put it so that you have to stand here, see what happens? The door opens up. Now the game doesn't really penalize you for that, but if I get to the screen this way, it leaves the door closed. Now I just used another 0.5 kilowatts of energy, so it's pretty obvious what I need, isn't it? And I don't have the iron. See how it looks kind of ghosty, faded out? So I need to come out here, find some more iron. Oh, I can't get through there. The gap is too small. Alright, I've got some more iron close by. It don't look like it, does it? That's silicone, that's not iron. That might be iron right there though. Yep, it sure is. Alright, so before we run out of oxygen or anything, let's get over here and get things spinning again. So we go to the Q key, we left click, and we install. So we got everything working again. Now even when you run out of power, you still have oxygen. There's quite a few things that are still worked. Now the screens won't, this one up here and whatnot will turn off. And if you're looking for information here, you probably won't find it. We've got 0.95, so another drill's out of the question. So is another heater. We got to have one. We could make another crafting station, but one seems to be plenty. We don't need extra screens to tell us anything. Don't really need a veggie tube because we don't have anything to put in there. So what would we want to put in? Well, we don't have enough power for these, so I guess it's going to be another windmill. And we know that requires metal. So let's see, where can I find some more metal? Well, they don't call it metal in this game, they call it iron. Oh, there's some right there. Alright, so now we've come back over here. and we could put us up another windmill. Alright, and it turns green. We don't have to be all that far away. Alright, I notice I'm getting hungry again and thirsty. So what am I going to do about that? Well, let's see. What do we got in here? The only thing we got is food, so I guess we've already got 2 food packs over here. So I suppose we could store that extra one in there. Alright, now what am I going to do? Well, darn. Let's go in here and look at what we can craft. If we have 2 cobalt, that'll give us an extra oxygen. If we have ice, we can get some water. Oh, look at there. We could do us another backpack, get more slots in our inventory. We can also do another oxygen bottle, and we can last a little bit longer. Oh, T1 exoskeleton increases equipment capacity, so we can have more gear slots, because we're kind of out of gear slots right now, aren't we? Yeah, we've used them all. So that looks like the best thing we need to do. So we need silicon and magnesium. And since we're getting thirsty, we better grab some ice too. Now we still got plenty of spots. Yep, looks like. So let's see, we've got iron right there. Hydration level, yeah, we better go ahead and do some more ice. Now we can go to either one of these and get ourselves some more water to drink. Thinker. And then push the old tab key, right click, and there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the space food now. And we still didn't get all the way full. But that will take away that concern for a while. And we were looking at the gear slots. Silicon and magnesium. I'm not seeing any silicon and magnesium right away. We just have to walk around here, try not to get too far away. And see if we can find some silicon and magnesium. Oh, there's magnesium. What about silicon? Oh, that looks like silicon right there. In fact, do we have any more slots left? Yeah, we do. So let's go ahead and do some more. Just do some, you know, basic stuff that we probably will need. Whatever is handy. Alright, we better get serious about getting back. Yeah, our oxygen levels get kind of low. Oh, now it's getting critical. Alright, we'll duck in here for a minute. Alright, and we were looking to do this right here. We've got what we need, so we'll left click. Now we'll get to our tab key, and oh, we don't have any open slots. So let's see, let's transfer this one. And then transfer this one over. Notice what it does. It gives us 4 more slots. So now we can transfer this one back and we can organize. And we could do 3 more gear improvements. But if we want to do this one, we need silicon and magnesium again. Alright, so let's go out here and try to find us some more silicon and magnesium. There's the magnesium. Is that silicon right there? Yeah, I do believe it is. I got net. I'm gonna go ahead and grab another one. Okay, now let's kind of run back by W key and then add the shift key with our pinky, our tiny little finger. Now, what are we gonna do next? Yeah, we better do the torch, kind of like a flashlight. Now we'll use our tab key and we'll have to left click to transfer it over. Now if we push the F key, we got a little spotlight. Okay, we still got some food in here, so I'm gonna grab one. Let's see, can we do any oxygen or something? Yeah, we can do some oxygen. How about some water? Yep, we've got some ice. Now if we look at our inventory, we can see we've got still some space left. We can organize everything, and it looks like we can make another oxygen bottle. So let's do that. And tab key again, and we'll organize it. So we got 2 spare oxygen, so that means we can go for a while. We've got 1 water. That'd be our next issue, is running out of water. By now you should have a pretty good idea what it is you need to collect. Oh, it didn't finish. I have to move my little control down a little bit. Hold down the shift key. Alright, see, let's go ahead and collect some more stuff. Uh-oh. Left key on the mouse will not work now. It says our inventory is full. So we cannot collect anything else. Oxygen. Oh, we're taking that real quick. Alright, so see what kind of backpack we got. Is it the T1 backpack? Yeah, let's get a bigger backpack. Alright, what do I need? I gotta turn in the T1 backpack, iron, silicone, and titanium, which I have in my inventory. My avatar is carrying this stuff around. So let's go ahead and make that. Alright, enter tab key. Oh, it transferred automatically. Since we had a T1 backpack already, it transferred the T2 right over there. And it installed it. Well, that's kind of nice. So the thing is to remember that once you have the first, what would you say, first of a series, it will allow the next in the series to load up automatically, that you don't have to transfer it from over here. And it also consumes the first object that we made, and in order to make the second object. Now I'm going to go ahead and organize up here, and we'll organize here too. Well, it looks like we're going to need some more oxygen soon. We've got 2 bottles so far. And we have another water. And that should do it, shouldn't it? That gives us all the basic stuff we need. Go ahead and organize this a little bit. Yeah, we do have a food pack with us too. Now we can't do another oxygen without another one of these up there. So what are we gonna do? Well, it looks like we're gonna have to give it a rest. I don't see any more requirements to do that we can do. We don't have the progress screen available, and we've got a long ways to go on our terraforming index score in order to get the blue sky. So you kind of see in how you have to use your intuitive process and know what to do next. I'm gonna go ahead and drink one of these bottles. Then I'm gonna eat some of this food. Almost made it to the end. And it looks like we have to travel a bit, or we have enough oxygen bottles to travel. But the sky is getting dark. So what would we want to do next? The only thing I could think of as a first-time player that's not played it before is I'd like to have a bigger shelter. Now I need 2 oxygen, 2 silicon. I've only got 1 and I need 1 of these. And then I could make another one of these living compartments. See, I'm 1 iron short. And we can use our torch now, which most Americans would call a flashlight. And it seems to be attached to our spacesuit. There we go. So now let's go ahead and get back. Uh-oh. We better use the shift key so we can run a little faster while we're holding down the W key. Alright, we made it back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand. I think I'll expand this way. So I'll hold down the Q key and then I'll left click. And notice it's got like a chain link thing showed there. Now I'll just click. Uh-oh, it's not working. Ah, no wonder. There's a big rock in the way. So I can't expand that way. How about it? Can I expand this way? Nope, it won't let me go that way either. We've got a drill in the way. Alright, how about the back side? I'll grab this ice right quick. Looks like I got this area open and available. And just to give you a heads up, it works better if you're on the inside when you do this. Bingo. But now we've got screens in the way. They're kind of just floating there. Alright, so let's go ahead and do our deconstruction tool. Rotate our mouse wheel. Now there we go. Alright, we didn't drop anything, but we did unlock a new veggie tube. So let's go ahead and construct our screens again. And I'm going to bring it all the way down like so. I guess I could press the F key and turn off the light. And then let's do our 2 screens again. Put them on the floor. We don't want to be tripping over them, so we'll put them pretty close to the wall here. Alright, what do we got in power? We got 2.5, so we could do a drill. We could do a heater if we have everything we need. So what does the board say we need to work on? It looks like it's heat and oxygen. But I need a plant for oxygen, and I need that iridium, the red rock that glows, in order to do anything about the heat. So let's see, I haven't seen anything to suggest there's iridium available down here. I'm gonna run around a little bit. And I don't see any plants available anywhere. Yeah, so we're kind of stuck, aren't we? Until we come up with a solution. Well, I'll tell you what. I don't want to get myself in a pickle to where I don't have what I need. So let's see. We need 2. And we need one of these in order to make another shelter. But we also need a door. Having a shelter without a door is not going to do us much good. And there's another iron. There's a silicon. And I think we've got an extra oxygen bottle, so let's right click on that right quick. Boom. Alright, let's see if we can put us another shelter up. Looks like to me the only thing we're missing is some more iron. So remember, we gotta use 2 just for the shelter. Then you gotta use another one for the door. Oh, there's a blue box over here. Let's see what's in the blue box. Gonna have to do a lot of running around, I think. Oh, all kinds of goodies. Yes, sirree, Bob. All kinds of goodies. Oh, plants too. Oh, it's got a strange symbol. It's not the short stem with the 2 leaves. It's got some. That one is. That one is a short stem with 2 leaves. Let's grab that one. That one's got a different symbol on the bottom there, so we can't use that one right away. So let's see, well, let's just put our shelter right in here. And as before, we'll let it float slightly. There we go. Now we'll put our door in. And we'll jump up there. There we go. We made it before we passed out from a lack of oxygen. Now, by experience, I know I need to make one of these T2 craft station, so I can make more water bottles and oxygen bottles and anything else that allows me to craft. So we need iron. Well, there's a lot of good stuff in here, so let's see. Another iron, another cobalt, silicon. Grab that water bottle, I think. Let's organize this. I don't see any foods. Let's grab one of those. Yeah, that looks like a pretty good collection. Maybe some more iron, silicon. Aluminum. I haven't had a reason to collect aluminum yet. We had to use a space bar to jump up in there. Otherwise it was setting too high. I do want to put one of these in here. And I need another veggie tube. Oh, we could do a new one. Oh, 2 ice. Ouch. Maybe we should stick with this one for now. Stick it in the corner. And we have something we can stick in there now. Oh, and it comes with a oxygen multiplier bonus of 150%. That's nice. But I still can't do anything about the red unless there's some iridium in here. Nope, there's not. So we still have a fundamental problem. We need to make another heater, but we don't have any iridium. What are we going to do about that? Well, we're going to have to hunt around for some iridium. But let's see, how are we doing on water? Well, we got two oxygen. Could make another oxygen, so let's do that right quick. Now you know why it's important to always install something like this. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So now we have 3 oxygen, 3 water, 1 food, and some miscellaneous stuff. Alright, so let's see. What else in here would be valuable to us? I would think the iron. Grab that too, organize it. The rest of it, we can use the food, but we don't want to clutter up our inventory too much. Let's go ahead and collect that while we're here. I think I better do another shelter. So you kind of got an idea what you're going to need to collect in order to build another shelter. A lot of players call that the exploration kit. If you're going to go around and explore, you got to have certain... Oh, inventory's full. You got to have certain assets in your inventory. Alright, well, we're getting low on oxygen, so let's go a little bit further up here. Oh, it's critical. We better go ahead and consume some oxygen. So right click. Alright, now if the grade is too steep, you want to press your space bar. Or if you get stuck by something, like assets on the ground. Alright, how far can we get as we're exploring and looking for iridium? Uh-oh, we went over time. Well, let's get ourselves a shelter right around here somewhere. I call these rescue pods. Oh, it's inside of a big red box. Okay. Now we need to go ahead and do the door. Uh-oh, I need some titanium. There's some right there. And our oxygen level is getting kind of low too. Let's put the door over here on the low side. And hop in there. And by habit, I've always decided to put one of these in the first chance I get. So if I need to make some more water to drink and I have ice. Yep. Now we've got, we're carrying a lot of water bottles, so let's right click. That'll take care of that problem. Now we can't build another shelter. We'd have to have a total of, was it 3 of these? One should be enough. But then we need 2 titanium. Yeah, we need 3 total, 2 titanium, and well, if we're going to build this, we're going to have some extra iron and silicon for that too. So we better get busy here. I'll use the space bar with my little pinky after I press down the W key. If you try to press the pinky first, Sometimes it won't let you move. The game normally requires you to press down the W key first. Alright, what do we got in here? Let's see, let's organize it. Okay, looks like we're okay, but we just don't have enough iron. So we need to focus on more iron. Here we go. That's titanium. That's silicon. The only thing I'm missing right now is iron. And my oxygen level is getting pretty low, and it's gonna turn critical here in a second. Yep, it sure did. So tab key and right click. And now we're safe again. Man, where they hiding all the iron? Titanium everywhere, but I just can't seem to find any iron. More titanium. Yeah, this is getting to be a nuisance. Here we go. Didn't I just see another blue box? Or the game calls them crates? Yeah, I did. Let's go see what's in it. Okay, I don't really see anything we need right away. Could use another one of those for oxygen. And oh, I'm starting to get hungry. Let's grab that. But my next problem is going to be oxygen again. So that's about all we can use for the moment. What's this with the falling sands? Let's go ahead and use up our last oxygen bottle. Organize this mess. Falling sands. What's in here? Gigantic cave. Oh, what's this up here? I see red rock. Glowing red rocks. Iridium. Okay, just what the doctor ordered. And didn't I saw some more? Yeah, okay. We do need heaters. We're getting a little bit behind on that. We're gonna have a problem with oxygen because we just used our last bottle. I'll tell you what, let's put us another shelter in here. And let's give it a door. Let's get inside. Before we run out of oxygen, put us in a T2 crafting station. Now I can make myself another oxygen bottle. Alright, so let's see. What do we need for another heater? We need silicon. Is there any silicon near this shelter? Well, we've gone over our hour that we were trying to make sure we kept over games limited to. But I'm getting desperate for some silicon, aren't I? I'm not finding much in the way of silicon around here. And it's a little hard to see, so let's use our flashlight by pressing the F key like in Frank. There's plenty of iridium around, it looks like. I got plenty of cobalt. I'm just not seeing any silicon. Got a good supply of ice. Uh-oh. Silicon, finally. Alright, we do have one oxygen bottle, so let's right click on that right quick. I need more silicon. Ah, here we go. So we have to get outside of the cave to find more silicon. And we can find some more iron. Let's see it. We got any ice? No, we better go ahead and grab some more ice then. Gonna need some more oxygen, so I better collect 2 of these right quick. And I better make a run back for the shelter because I'm getting kind of far out here. Try to make a mental note of what's out this way. Looks like a lot of magnesium, doesn't it? Alright, we made it back in time. So now we can make us a spare oxygen bottle. And it looks like we're starting to get kind of hungry too, doesn't it? Well, we've got 2, so let's go ahead and eat one. And I better, well, I can wait on that, but let's see about getting some more heaters going. Turn off our flashlight. Okay, good. We can make a heater. Uh-oh, ran out of power. So, oh wait a minute, we got a new option now. It provides 6.5, that only provides 1.2. So let's go for this one, but we need 2 cobalt, and I just used those up. The 2 that I had. Magnesium again. Aluminum that time. Oh, there's the cobalt. Oh good, there's another cobalt. Seems a little weird to put a solar panel out here where it's in the dark. But it doesn't seem to matter. Okay. So now I can put another heater in, right? Yep. Get away from the wall a little bit. That's about as tight as I can get it. How much power do those things use? -1 per second. Well, I guess we're gonna have to do these panels from here on out. Yep, I would say that's what we gotta do. Okay, well, we don't have a screen here. We could maybe make one for power. Oh, we gotta have silicon and iron. Well, I guess that's gonna have to do it for this one. We've busted our hour real big. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead, hit the escape key again and save what we've done so far. Now let's go down here to exit the main menu. And at this point we'll say be well until next time.